Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the administrative assistant from the LaGrange Fire Department. I have joining me today Rachel Crandall. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure to sit down with you today to talk about something that everybody can get involved with. But before we do that, Rachel, I always like to ask people, because I don't know if I had you on the show before.
No, I've never been on.
Never been on. All right, so my first timers, I always have to kind of put them through the ringer just a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Rachel, no, seriously though, if you don't mind, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Rachel Crandall. I've been working here at the fire department for about 4 years.
Okay.
I've been only living in LaGrange for about 7 years. So I'm fairly new to the area.
Okay.
So I am the administrative assistant. I kind of handle all the administrative work that goes on up at the fire department headquarters, and kind of whatever comes in the door, I try to delegate and mitigate and make sure everything runs smooth. So.
Absolutely. Well, I can know, all the things that go on within the fire department and within the city of LaGrange. You always got to have that strong person at the gate.
The gatekeeper, they call it.
That's
yes.
right, the gatekeeper, absolutely. Well, Rachel was saying you only been here for like 7 years. I always have to ask the question, what brought you to LaGrange, Georgia?
Well, I had some family that lived here, and so I was actually living in Wisconsin before I moved here, and so we just ended up wanting to be closer to family, and we just made the move.
Okay, Wisconsin to LaGrange,
Yes,
Georgia.
it's quite a change.
It's quite a change, isn't it? Cold climate.
Cold climate. Listen, I don't miss the snow. I'll say that. I do not miss it at all.
Oh, I'm sure. I hear that quite frequently, that people that have maybe moved away and then they move back, they have family ties here to LaGrange, and then they come back here. So what have you thought of our city thus far, been here 7 years now?
I love it here. It's great. It just has a hometown feel to it, and I mean, we've been very happy here ever since we've moved. So
very good, very good. We're glad to hear that, and definitely we always, want people to come to our, little best kept secret. But then we say, no, I don't think it's best kept secret anymore. But it's always good to have people come in and really enjoy our community and city, because this is a great little area.
It really is
to call home. Well, Rachel, you're as administrative assistant, and I know that there are a number of men and women that work within the 4 stations that we have throughout the community here. Before we get into the project, talk a little bit about those stations and where they're located, if you don't mind, and why we have those stations in those various areas, if you can help people to understand that.
Well, currently we have 4 stations. They're located strategically throughout the city for appropriate coverage for all the areas within the city limits, and also with automatic aid and mutual aid for Troup County Fire Department as well. And so Station 1 is located on South Davis Road. We have Station 3, which is located on Hogansville Road, Station 4, which is on Moody Bridge, and then we have our newest station, which is Station 5, located on Vernon Road, right across from the hospital.
Okay, all right, very good. Now, before we came on, you were telling me there's one of those stations get a little bit more activity than some of the others. Which station is that?
I would say, in my opinion, Station 4 is probably one of our busier stations. Station 1 can get pretty busy. They can all get busy at times, but I would say Station 4 probably gets the most calls. Those guys stay busy over there. So.
Right. Okay. And I think because a lot of times people don't realize, but a lot of the firefighters or fire personnel are not only firefighters, but the EMT as well.
All of our firefighters are also EMTs. So when they get called out, a lot of times it is for an EMS call. And if they're first on scene, then they're first there to treat whatever medical call that's going on there. And yes, every one of our firefighters are also an EMT.
Very good.
Or a paramedic.
Absolutely. And so that's just a plus for our community. And people don't realize and understand that, and I won't get too deep in the weeds here, but our community have what we call an ISO rating.
Yes.
Which by having these additional fire services and EMTs, EMS, that drives down our rating, which also helps to bring down the insurance costs that people pay.
Yes, that's true.
Absolutely.
So we try to make sure that we maintain all of our ISO protocols so that we can keep that ISO rating low.
Absolutely. So the benefit to the community.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, here's something that you're here today to talk about, Rachel, that everybody can get involved in. And during this time of the year, we see quite frequently this taking place. Talk about what your project that one of the firemen came up with for a community project, if you don't mind.
Well, at the beginning of this year, Chief Brandt we had a meeting with all the officers of all our stations. We have 12 crews, and one of the things that he wanted them to do this year was to come together with their crews and choose a crew project that they could complete within this year, whether it would be a community project or a service project at one of the stations, something that they could work on and complete together. And so Lieutenant Mark Bland, he's a lieutenant at Station 3 on 1st Battalion. He and his crew decided that they wanted to put together a food drive for the community, and so we are partnering together with Feeding the Valley and putting on this food drive coming up here in November. Okay,
very good. So food drive, and definitely, with the cost of foods and things of that nature, we see them rising. I know that there are families that could definitely benefit from what you guys are planning and proposing. When will the food drive be taking place? You did say November.
So November 4th and 5th, which is a Friday and a Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. Folks can drop by any of our 4 stations and bring non-perishable items that we will collect, or if they would like to do a cash donation, that's an option as well. And we would gather up all the items, and then Feeding the Valley would be distributing those items. Okay, very good.
Feeding the Valley, I know that a lot of people perhaps have heard of Feeding the Valley. Can you tell them a little bit about what Feeding the Valley is, if you don't mind? And I don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, this isn't my project, but I mean, as far as I know about Feeding the Valley is they partner with churches and different organizations to help distribute food out to those who are in need and those who need extra help.
Absolutely. I've heard Feeding the Valley, and I know that there are a number, like you stated, a number of the churches and nonprofit organizations, which churches are nonprofit organizations. They partner with them for food items and donations that they basically collect and give back to the community.
Right.
And I was, before we came on, I was saying, okay, we'll collect items here, distribute them down to Feeding the Valley, and in some cases those things may come back to this community. Why is that so important in your mind, Rachel?
Well, I mean, we as LaGrange Fire Department, we want to provide what we can to put back into our own community, and it's our jobs to make sure that the people in our community are taken care of, and that's what the guys do every day by running their calls and helping people who need it, and this is just another way that we can do that.
Okay, very good. All right, so food drive that will be taking place on November 4th and the 5th. Now, you were telling me too, and I know that the fire department just had the National Day Out, where the community was able to come out to get an opportunity to kind of put on some of the fire gear, get a ride on the trucks and things of that nature. But if somebody was dropping off some items and there was some available time that the staff was there, could they get a chance to tour the fire department?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If the crew is there and they're not busy, if they're not running a call, I mean, come on by, see the truck, see what the stations are like, see what they do day in and day out. They live at these stations for 24 hours a day. Their shift starts at 7 a.m. and they don't go home till 7 a.m. the next day. So these guys live together for 24 hours every time they're on duty, and so that's their home while they're on shift.
That's right, absolutely. And I've been in a number of the stations, and it does give you that feeling of home as well, because you go, you see the bedrooms, the showers, the kitchen, and the I guess the gathering area. There's a lot of I think exchanging of ideas to talk and just the relaxing there. And I know there's a number of good cooks within the fire department. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I think every crew has their designated cook. Now I don't know who all of them are, but I mean, I think every crew picks somebody out and says, okay, they're a good cook, so we're going to rely on them to do all the meals. I mean, we even have people at admin that do the same thing. So hey, just whoever's got the skills.
All right, okay, and you know, I think that what makes it much more the homey feeling and everything. The gatherness. They go shopping and see them out shopping sometimes, and they bring things back, and it's just the real camaraderie there. And like you stated, it's a family.
It is a family, and that's, you know, when you spend that much time together, and when you're out there, and your lives could be on the line, and you there's a bond there that, you know, maybe people outside of that can't quite understand unless they're in it. But it is a family for sure.
Absolutely. So again, if you don't mind, for us, Rachel, just kind of recap what we're doing by the food drive, where they can drop things off, and when, okay?
Okay. So the food drive is going to be taking place on November 4th and 5th at all 4 of our stations, which we will have the information posted on our Facebook page, and it should be being put on the City of LaGrange Facebook page as well. It'll have all the addresses there. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., non-perishable items or cash donations, and just come on by and see us. Okay,
all right. Now, you were saying cash donation. If somebody wanted to write a check, who do they make it payable to?
Probably we would have them make it payable to Feeding the Valley.
Feeding the Valley, okay, all right, very good. So checks should be made payable to Feeding the Valley. All right, very good. And we could just, I guess, in the note field, just put Food Drive LaGrange Fire Department?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, Rachel, that is a pleasure sitting down with you to talk about something, again, that you will find, perhaps have already found, that this is a very generous community, a community that cares about people, and a community that will come out for the cause. And I'm sure that everybody viewing and watching will definitely do just that, come out between the 4th and the 5th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and drop off whatever canned goods items you can, or a monetary donation.
Yes.
Rachel, I want to thank you very much for being my guest today and sharing this information, and just get ready for those baskets to overfill, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being my guest, okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more Seed Week coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have from Visit LaGrange, we have Lynne Holie to talk to us about the upcoming city scenes. Lynne, take it away.
Good morning, Alton. Thanks for letting me come and speak with everybody. I'm going to be talking about the events that are going to be happening in LaGrange from October 24th through the 30th. So let's get started. On October 25th at 6 p.m., Lewis O. Powell IV, a research archivist with the Troup County Archives and a specialist in Southern ghost stories, will share spooky tales from LaGrange and beyond. Light refreshments will be served. The event will be located at 525 Park Avenue. On Thursday, October 27th, Kelvin King, a former candidate for Georgia U.S. Senate seat, will be speaking at this month's men's luncheon at First Baptist Church on the Square. King was born in Macon, Georgia, to a 15-year-old mother who raised him and his sister in a single-parent household. A great student, he earned an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy, where he was an all-conference football player. After serving in the Air Force for 5 years, Mr. King worked as a manager with several international construction firms, and then he started his own construction firm called Osprey Management, which has been named the fastest growing business by the Atlanta Business Chronicle. He is married to Janelle, and they founded Speak Georgia, a 501c3 organization designed to educate and provide resources to the community. The luncheon will be held at noon on Thursday, October 27th in the church's New Life building, which is located at 117 Church Street. The cost of the luncheon is $7. Reservations can be made by calling the church office at 706-884-5631. Save the date for Thursday, October 27th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the LaGrange Piano Lessons Fall Recital at Your Pie. You'll be able to grab some pizza and sit back as their students take you on a musical journey. Fathoms below, singing in the rain, while keeping an eye open for baby sharks or submarines. On Saturday, October 29th at 8:30 a.m., join Hype for the 7th annual Bark at the Park, held at Granger Park. This is a 5K and 1K dog walk, sponsored by Thornton and Graham PC. Registration for runners is $25 and includes a t-shirt. After the walk, don't miss a contest for you and your pup to win fun goodies for best dressed and looks most like your dog, judged by 3 local dog lovers. All dogs must be on leashes and be current on their vaccines. And finally, October 29th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., grab the family and come downtown for a fun afternoon full of candy, music, games, and more. Participating businesses and vendors will be passing out goodies for all the children. So join the community for this safe, family-friendly trick or treating. Those are just a few of the events happening in LaGrange for the week of October 24th through October 30th. We hope you can get out, have fun, and stay safe.
Wow, Lynn, that is a lot of great things happening in the city of LaGrange. Hopefully the community will come out, take part, and by all means, be safe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us City Week, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.